Modern hockey was first established on March 3, 1875, at the Montreal's Victoria Skating Rink and has grown to be Canada's national winter sport. The game has developed in many ways since 1875. For example, it used to be played with 9 players on the ice using a flat wooden puck. The first team to represent Canada internationally was the University of Oxford. The team played at the 1910 European Championships, and they were called the Oxford Canadians. Canada's first Olympic gold medal game was played by the Winnipeg Falcons, which was founded in 1911. This remarkable team from Manitoba's Icelandic Athletic Club was formed in 1898. Up until 1909, this was a 2-team league between the Icelandic Athletic Club and the Vikings. Nearly all the Winnipeg Falcons players were of Icelandic descent and were unable to play on any other team due to racial prejudice. The team was composed of World War I veterans, and 7 of the 8 of them enlisted to serve in the war overseas. It was Frank Frederickson who was the current leader of the team that enlisted in the 223rd Scandinavian Battalion, and considering his tight bond with the team, the other players decided to join him. Following their arrival in Europe, the men joined the Royal Flying Corps and served in England, France, and Cairo.
Throughout the war and the Battle for Hill 70, the Falcons played a huge role in capturing trenches from the Germans. They were all individually part of the Canadian troops that managed to hold back the Germans' counterattacks. Several major battles in World War I were fought by the Falcon members. Players Frank Thorsteinsson and George Cumbers died in the war, and the other 5 returned to Winnipeg to continue playing for the Falcons in 1919. Thorsteinsson and Cumbers were buried 8 gravestones apart in the area of mass graves. Although this team finished at the bottom of the league after their first season, they unexpectedly went on to win the Allen Cup in 1920 and were named the country's top senior men's amateur hockey team. The 1920 Olympics were held in Antwerp, Belgium, where Antwerp was awarded with the Games in order to honor the suffering that had been inflicted on the Belgian people during World War I. Germany, Austria, Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Ottoman Empire were not invited to the Games due to being aggressor nations in World War I, leaving 29 nations partaking in the Games. Going into the Games, the United States was Canada's biggest threat because they were known to be an exceptionally skilled team.
These games consisted of 2 20-minute halves, no substitutes permitted, and included 7 aside. The Winnipeg Falcons' first game was played against Czechoslovakia, and the final score was 15-0 for the Falcons, advancing them to the semifinal games against their biggest competitors, the United States. In the end, it was the Falcons that took the win with a final score of 2-0. On April 26, 1920, the Olympic gold medal game was played, and it was Sweden matched up against the Falcons. This was Sweden's first ever competitive hockey game played, so Canada was the favored team. The Winnipeg Falcons made history with their 12-1 victory, winning them Canada's first Olympic gold medal in hockey. With Canada's goalie Jacob Walter Byron, their leading scorer Frank Frederickson scoring 12 goals and Slim Halderson scoring 9, their 3 games resulted in a combined score of 29 goals and only 1 goal scored against them all tournament. Following the winning of Canada's first gold medal in hockey, the team toured the battlefield of Flanders, where several players had previously served in the war. A few years later, in 1924 and 1928, Canada played in the France Olympic Games as well as the Switzerland Olympic Games, successfully winning their 2nd and 3rd gold medal in the Hockey Olympic Games. Displays honoring the Winnipeg Falcons' first gold medal winning game can now be found in the Toronto and the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame.